This is the harvest today from the Little Fence garden. So excited, the green beans finally gave me quite a few at one time, and we have green peppers, Roma tomatoes, and I think that's some sort of Hawaiian tomato. It's an heirloom, I don't remember what it's called, and one big cucumber. There's a crow up there talking to us. Today is Tuesday. I think it might be August 26th, and I've been really slack about getting videos on this channel. Let me explain. We had such intense heat this summer, and I have been struggling a little bit with my thyroid and trying to get my numbers right, and I just couldn't handle the heat this year. I got very discouraged, and I did the bare minimum out here, which was just coming out here when I could stand it and watering things. We hear you. We hear you up there. I love the crows. So I think that's as far out as I can bring the view, but just look at all of these vines around the arbor. And then of course we have our little gate. So let's go inside. I have started tending to the garden again, and I've spent time out here harvesting. Wow, look. The moonflowers have been incredible. So that's what this is, hanging all over the place. And you can see right up in here, there was a bloom last night. And there will be more tonight, as you can see. There's another one over here. But the moonflowers have been incredible. The tomatoes, the Roma tomatoes that I planted from seed, they have been awesome. I ended up getting a lot of these little shishito peppers, and this has been the first year I've had these. I'm so excited about that. The peppers here were very, very slow to get started. I thought they were all gonna die out, and then they kind of just started growing. We've had jalapenos. This is kind of a small plant, but I have harvested quite a bit from this one. Oh, I see Chester back there. So the dill was really pretty, but it ended up covered in parsley worms, which of course turn into the black swallowtail. Hey Chessie, I see you. He likes to come in and visit sometimes, but I think he's on a mission right now. Where you going, buddy? Are you coming in? You can come in for a little bit. Hey, buddy. Go check everything out, okay? Make sure everything's okay. You gonna check on everything for me? Hey, buddy. Back in this corner, I just watered everything, so I don't want to get my clothes wet. This pepper plant, that's a bell pepper. It's very big and healthy. I just took about 5 peppers off of that, so it doesn't really have any growing right now, but it has produced and produced. And then all of my squash, cucumbers, cantaloupe, they were just decimated by squash beetles and cucumber beetles. I do have one cantaloupe down here that really surprised me. I didn't know this was over here. So going inside the little structure here, we've had a whole lot of green beans recently. I have some inside right now that I'm gonna snap and cook today, and you can see it's starting to produce more. Just really happy about this. But I did have, Chester's going to go in the little soil box down there. What was that? Go check it out, Chester. But I had a cantaloupe here that was doing great. It had grown way up. There were 3 cantaloupes on it, and I came out one day and they had all fallen off and they were basically rotten. And there were just, the cucumber beetles were everywhere. So I feel like it was just eaten up and destroyed by things like those beetles. We had a couple of different ones. Maybe I can put a picture in of one of the beetles that I saw. And, well, I may have a picture of both kinds that I saw out here. Here's another moonflower. And I'm really surprised. This looks so terrible. Like I said, I let things fall off when it got so hot out here. But I've been surprised that these 3 little plants in these tiny pots have produced beans. As long as I keep them watered, they've produced, which I've been really surprised. I had overplanted seeds and ran out of space, so I just left them in the pots over there. The nasturtium, they've gotten very leggy. I think I had too much nitrogen out here because I only ended up with 1 bloom the whole summer. Uh-oh, something got this one. That's the first time I've seen something like that. What is that on there? We've been getting a lot of beautiful Roma tomatoes. So I'm not sure what to think about that. Look at this is one of the plants and it's just gone way up here. Had a lot of very beautiful tomatoes from this. And you can see there's one here. This tomato plant looks pretty pitiful, but we have continued to get tomatoes from this. I just keep breaking off the stems that are not producing, the lower ones. And I had to make the fence a little taller back here because the deer were coming in between this fence and the house in that tiny little area. And you can see where they reached in and chewed all of the branches off of that tomato plant. But yeah, I just come out here and take off the ones that are not going to produce. Let's go put this in here. And come right around here. And I noticed this morning this beautiful okra flower. They have the prettiest blooms. And I do see some okra starting. And again, these are just in these little pots. I ran out of space. Next year, I'm going to do things differently. I'm not going to invest so much time into squash and cucumbers. I tell you, the cucumber that did the best out here was, oops, there's a little spider following me around. I think it's attached to me. Whoa. Let's put him on this plant. Yep, he was coming right towards me. It's okay, little buddy. The cucumber, the Market More has done the best. It seemed to survive some of these pests, and it has produced, I came out here yesterday and cut off so many bad leaves. You can see there's a cucumber up in there. There's Still an eggplant under there. They never got very big. I don't know, maybe, I don't know what to do with it. I've probably let it stay out here too long at this point. It was so wet and so hot. This rose plant looks terrible, but it'll be okay. It'll come back. We may cut it back. The loofah gourds, they climbed way up here and they never did anything. It's still alive, so I'm gonna give it a chance and still just see what happens. We have had a lot of butterflies this year on the butterfly bush. I see one back there now. But yeah, so this is attached to the ground again. I'm not gonna do anything with it. That's empty, that's empty. This was terrible, but then it came down here and put roots in the ground. So we will see what happens. I feel like it would be a miracle to get a squash. We did have a few zucchini from this plant that were really good, but then it ended up, like, look at that. That was the beginning of one. That's pretty. I really, really love it out here. Well, I didn't really show you back here. We still have our pretty little water garden. The pitcher plants that are so beautiful. And we've got that. I think that's a water hyacinth. Some of that stuff is invasive. You would not want to put it in a pond unless you want it to take over. The mandevilla has been pretty. And it has come way out here. Not as many blooms as last year. We've got mostly vines growing over here. And then this is a sweet potato that I had just put in some water. And it started growing, so I came out here and stuck it in some soil just because I think it's pretty. Yep, this is just another large part of the garden that's been pretty much decimated by beetles, and maybe I should pull it out, but it got so hot that I didn't even mess with it. I just let it grow, and now we're gonna just see what happens. Whatever this is has started to run over here into my little succulent garden, and I don't know that I want it doing that. Let's come back this way. This has been really pretty. That's an ice plant. I forget what that's called. And is that sort of like hen and chicks? I can't remember the actual name of that. But that has been a very pretty little garden. We did end up with one perfect peach from the peach tree. So that was nice. Those are pretty. And this pepper plant has given us a lot of banana peppers. Really pretty. I'm very happy with this plant. And this is the hot lip sage. It's kind of quit blooming. I think it might bloom again. I'm not. Oh yeah, look. There's a little bloom right there. Well, let's come on out. Chester, have you had enough of the garden? Jessie. So that is the little secret garden, little fenced-in garden. I do love it in spite of its flaws this year. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, from my little fence to yours, happy gardening.